Health and safety were the top reasons that companies sent employees home to work during the COVID-19 pandemic. And health and safety will be the main factors for employees' eventual return to the office. This course consists of practical actions that a company can take to ensure that employees feel safe returning back to the office. Below are the topics that will be discussed in further detail. When can we return to the office? Before re-entering office. When it's time to re-enter. This guide will offer practical tips and actions that a company can take before reintroducing its employees into the office. But as far as when you can or should return, this will obviously vary based on the employer's location and industry. Employers will have to comply with state and local orders, which will guide when and how the business can reopen. Clear communication can improve your company's ability to collaborate, help employees feel valued and stay informed, and help management truly hear their employees' voices, concerns, and needs. COVID-19 has required organizations to step up their communications. Some employees say that their management has communicated with them more in the last couple of months than ever. The value of internal communications has been recognized during this crisis and hopefully will stay strong moving forward. During this shelter-in-place time period, many companies have conducted research to provide employees with a valuable perspective on working from home and safer office practices that will impact office policies. Has your company conducted this research? Maintaining regular communication also provides reassurance to employees who naturally have questions about the future of the business and their roles. Because there is so much uncertainty in the world today, communication surrounding impact on your company is crucial. Keep your employees in the loop before, during, and after office reentry. During the WFH rush, when you sent all of your employees home, did employees have the effective platforms needed for communication, connectivity, and collaboration? Did they have laptops, software on their computers for virtual meetings, VoIP, and messaging capabilities to chat with their teams? Do you have a plan for your employees to come back to the office? Hygiene practices have discouraged the sharing of keyboards, mice, and headsets. If you chose to bring employees back in shifts where multiple people share one workstation, how will you handle that? Virtual meeting platforms are a thing of the present and will continue to keep the people connected professionally and personally. You should encourage virtual meetings while in the office, especially if the meeting involves 10 or more people. Every department should review their operations and identify any areas of deficiency, especially in technology and communication infrastructure. As businesses plan for reopening, they will still need to observe regulations governing social distancing, employee gatherings, and hygiene practices. Is your office environment well suited to these new restrictions? You need to be proactive in reconfiguring your office space. The requirement for 6 feet between employees impacts on individual seating arrangements and shared spaces like cafeterias. 2 things to consider when rearranging your office space. Separate offices' work cubicles be 6 feet apart with transparent shields dividing desks, or a 6 feet circle around each workspace, so no one will go within that limit. Add floor markers directing foot traffic, encouraging employees to walk clockwise and only clockwise in lanes around the office. Have you thought about cleaning? Not only when the office is to be cleaned and how often, but also installation of touchless hand sanitizers and disinfectant wipes. Maintaining adequate stock will be challenging until the supply chain has regulated production, but this is something you should be planning for now. Another thought is to increase during the day housekeeping. By having a visible cleaning presence, employees see the efforts of the organization to keep them healthy and safe. Each morning, have your employees grab a paper placemat for their desk. At the end of the day, the paper is thrown away. This could help mitigate contact-based spread of COVID-19 on office surfaces. Lastly, businesses and landlords should test and likely acquire extra air filtration solutions in an effort to promote healthier air. There are certain areas of offices that tend to be gathering places, not only the office water cooler. Below are tips and possible new protocols for these areas. Reception areas. Do you have visitor protocols or badge requirement entry to your office? Can just anyone off the street walk in? Consider controlling access to the office by phone-in entry. Add temporary plexiglass sneeze guard screens at reception or check-in points. Another way to manage social distancing is to limit or fully remove seating in the reception area. Remove magazines, corporate swag, or pens from the reception space, and keep the hand sanitizer dispensers in plain view. Workstation areas. Start with the floor plan indicating the workstations to be occupied to determine your maximum capacity per floor or wing. This will be done using the 6 feet of social distancing rule. Seating and workstations should be assigned. Employees' personal items such as picture frames, plants, and bobbing head figurines should be removed and not allowed back in workspaces. Additional ideas include installing higher panels or shields between workstations and situating desks so that employees are not facing one another. Collaboration areas. Remove extra conference room chairs and have a maximum of 10 chairs. Install signage indicating the maximum number of people allowed in each conference, meeting, huddle, and focus room. Use virtual meeting software instead. Training rooms. Use virtual training for the foreseeable future. Repurpose these rooms to temporarily store all the chairs and secondary furniture that has been removed from the workstation areas. Use these rooms for additional workstations since you will be adding space between. Maria and Thomas have really succeeded and became even more productive working from home. Have you thought about the possibility of them becoming full-time remote workers? Do you have both non-essential and essential customer-facing employees? Despite the availability of regular workspaces, it's wise and practical for businesses to continue some form of remote working for several months at least. Until you have a plan in place and are sure that it's time for reentry, having an employee go back and forth between central and remote locations is hugely disruptive. Some organizations will choose to keep employees working from home for economic reasons. Others may have a return to remote working forced upon them if a staff member suddenly contracts the virus. This reinforces the importance of an effective communications plan and platform to connect with employees working from home. You know that you will need to take measures to ensure a safe workplace to ensure they have been procedures in place to deal with potentially infected employees and employees who have been diagnosed with COVID-19. This can include regular monitoring to ensure employees showing symptoms of COVID-19 are asked to leave work immediately. Requiring employees to provide a certification from a medical provider prior to returning to work. Employees' self-certification upon reentry. Take employees' temperature as they enter the office each day. You need a plan if you suspect or an employee suspect that they have COVID-19. Along with that plan comes your leave policy. Many companies are modifying their sick leave PTO policy for these circumstances. What happens when the orders are lifted, business resumes, and employees return to work? A phased approach plan, which avoids overcrowding and mitigates concerns about potential transmission, is an approach many organizations are taking. Having everyone come back to the office on day one is not realistic or smart. Human resources and operations teams must seize the opportunity to safeguard their health and safety, as well as to instill confidence that the office is a safe place to return to. Additionally, a phased approach can help reduce the risk of a contagious employee returning to the office and passing the illness to everyone. Another way companies are planning their return to the office is by staggering employee schedules. Employers are considering assigning team shifts and alternate work hours. Much like the phased approach, schedule staggering limits the number of people allowed in a space at any given time. Plan a staggered reintroduction to the office. Establish a process such that a rotating group of employees work from the office every few days or at different hours of the day, which can also be beneficial for commutes, rush hour traffic, and transit. You have been away from your workplaces for weeks or months, and returning will feel unsettling. Much may have changed in the interim. It is important for you to invest efforts to rebuild workplace morale. Acknowledge any employee concerns and treat announcements regarding the new operating environment with sensitivity. There are many ways businesses can improve workplace culture, including painting a positive vision of the future. When the time is right and regulations permit, consider a fun team-building event to lift spirits and let off some steam. Successful businesses thrive on motivated, happy, and confident workforces. There are many things that you, leaders of your company, can do to make reentry to the office a safe and easy experience for your employees. Are you prepared for the day that this will happen? And are you confident that the steps you are taking are for the health, safety, and well being of your staff and company? Every organization's return to the office will be customized to their circumstances. The CDC recommends that businesses remain closed until you can implement a number of safeguards to combat the spread of COVID-19. There is a lot of misinformation surrounding the coronavirus, leading to anxiety and uncertainty. In planning the return, considerations can be overwhelming, and we hope this course provided you with some sense of direction and the need for a plan, so that you and your employees can soon get back to the office.